After surviving the absurd chaos of the slime lagoon, the crushing embrace of the gemstone sentinel vines, and the ridiculous flailing with the giant moth in the glittering caverns, the blonde astronaut girl was beginning to feel a strange mix of exhaustion, disbelief, and begrudging pride. Her suit was still sticky in odd patches from residual slime, crystal dust shimmered faintly along her arms and legs, and her hair floated in soft waves over her shoulders, catching the light like spun gold. Somehow, despite every ridiculous, over-the-top obstacle this estrogenic planet had thrown at her, she was still alive, still standing, and still improbably herself, or at least the curvy, sparkly-haired version of herself that the planet's chemical whims had forced her to become. She brushed a stray lock of hair out of her visor, muttering to herself, "I survived goo. I survived jewelry vines. I survived the giant moth. Universe, you hate me, but I am still standing. And I am still you, Gehu, ridiculous." Ahead of her lay the mechanical temple, a structure that jutted out from the jagged cliffs like some robotic relic from a long-forgotten civilization. The walls were metallic but aged, engraved with strange glyphs and gleaming softly under the alien sun, giving it a mystical yet industrial look. The temple hummed faintly, and as she approached, her suit sensors pinged repeatedly. Something about the air here felt alive, alert, watching. She swallowed, tugged at her gloves, and whispered, "Okay. If this is worse than vines, slime, or moths, I might cry. Or scream. Probably both." Her boots crunched on the metallic walkway leading into the temple entrance, every echo reverberating through the vast chamber ahead. Stepping inside, she immediately noticed the temple's sheer scale. The ceiling loomed impossibly high, vast machinery lining the walls like ancient sleeping gods. Cranes, pulleys, and massive robotic arms extended into the darkness above, covered with dust, some creaking as if they had been dormant for centuries. "Great," she muttered, adjusting her helmet. "I've entered a mechanical ruin, because that's a safe environment. Totally safe, no moving parts. Right?" She inched forward cautiously, boots clicking against the metal floor, every sound amplified in the cavernous hall. Suddenly, sensors flared and lights along the walls flickered. Thin streams of mist hissed from vents, and the temple hummed louder, almost in a rhythmic chant. Her visor flickered as a booming mechanical voice echoed through the hall. "Unauthorized transformation anomaly detected. Initiating purity verification protocols." Her eyes widened. What does that even mean? "I am an astronaut, not, anything else. Leave me alone." Without warning, massive mechanical arms descended from above, whirring and clanking. Each one ended in multi-jointed claws or prismatic manipulators, moving with strange precision yet a distinctly over-the-top anime flair. One claw snatched her wrist, another her ankle, and before she could react, she was lifted into the air. "H. Hey, this is not consent, Yuki-H." She twisted frantically, trying to wriggle free, only for the automated arms to adjust instantly, repositioning her in ways that were both absurd and comically humiliating. She dangled upside down, then sideways, then held horizontally like some bizarre mechanical display. Okay, think." She muttered to herself, hair sticking to her helmet, suit glistening with dust, slime, and glitter remnants. "I survived sticky goo. I survived gem vines. I survived giant moths. I can survive. Robotic torture, probably." One mechanical arm extended, pressing gently against her chest plate, then another looped under her legs, lifting her higher. Each movement was exaggerated, cinematic, and entirely ridiculous. Her limbs were forced into awkward positions, overextended just enough to make her squeak in shock and embarrassment, but without harm. This is Yuga absurd. I am not a display piece, Top Yuge." The arms began performing what the temple called glitchy purity verification protocols. Tiny screens along the robotic limbs flashed "error, anomaly not clear" repeatedly. Each error caused the arms to twitch and reposition her, sometimes spinning her upside down, sometimes dangling her by a single wrist, sometimes lifting her into a split. She squirmed and flailed, muttering panicked exclamations that echoed against the temple walls. I dash and dash, still dash and dash, astronaut. I have not consented you to stop moving me like this. The temple itself seemed almost sentient, adjusting the arm's movements in response to her struggles. A claw tilted her sideways, pressing her face gently against a holographic panel of flickering alien symbols. Another claw looped under her thighs, lifting her higher, dangling her in the air. Her hair floated dramatically around her helmet, glinting with stray reflections from the ancient machinery, while her suit sensors beeped frantically at the multiple stress points caused by the arm's exaggerated poses. She squeaked again, limbs flailing. I cannot you believe this. I am stuck, sparkly stuck Yuga. The mechanical arms continued their chaotic choreography, repositioning her constantly in ways that would make a skilled gymnast dizzy. She was spun, flipped, and dangled in impossible positions, hair streaming, suit glistening, visor fogged, all while the temple's voice droned mechanically, verifying, verifying. Error, human form not approved, repositioning. She twisted and wriggled, trying to find a leverage point, occasionally brushing against control panels or walls, sending sparks and holographic readouts dancing through the chamber. She realized the temple's automated guardian was not exactly violent, more like a very persistent, very awkward, slightly malfunctioning ballet instructor of absurd punishment. Every adjustment of the arms left her suspended, tingling, flailing, and utterly flustered. Who has this dash was dash not safe, not safe. Unsparkly and flailing stop Yuga. Her boots scraped against metallic surfaces, suit glinting in flickering light, hair plastered to her helmet and shoulders. Despite the chaotic poses, she began to notice a pattern. Each arm was slightly delayed, each movement slightly predictable. Maybe, just maybe, if she could time her flail correctly. She lunged with her leg, pushing off a metallic ledge at the exact moment one arm lifted her. The timing sent her tumbling through the air, sliding along a gently sloping ramp, and landing in a crouch as another claw missed its intended grab. Panting, hair in disarray, suit glinting with alien dust, she whispered, "Okay. Maybe there's a way out of this without getting spun into infinity. Hopefully." She rolled forward, quickly analyzing the robotic arms, each joint, each hinge, each glowing sensor. One arm extended toward her, another swung in a wide arc, and she twirled in midair, barely dodging before landing on a narrow catwalk. The temple's voice droned again, ERROR, unauthorized form. Repositioning. She ducked, rolled, and slid along a conveyor-like surface, arms flailing, hair streaming behind her, suit sparkling in the ambient light. The mechanical arms reacted, each one twisting, jerking, and adjusting, creating a chaotic dance of metal and human limbs that looked utterly ridiculous from any angle. She squeaked, muttered frantic expletives under her breath, and wiggled to avoid being hoisted into another over-the-top pose. Eventually, after what felt like hours of twisting, dangling, spinning, and dodging, she managed to reach a control panel. Slamming her hand against it, she triggered a minor sequence that caused several arms to retract. She stumbled forward, panting, hair plastered, suit glittering with dust and sweat, and muttered, "I somehow survived. Slimes, vines, moth. And now you get this robot temple." She sank onto a nearby ledge, catching her breath, brushing hair from her face, suit clinging to her in sparkly, chaotic glory. Standing there, exhausted, flustered, and utterly ridiculous, she glanced at the mechanical arms now partially retracted, awaiting her next flail. Somewhere deep in her mind, she realized that no matter what this estrogenic, absurd planet threw at her, she had adapted, survived, and maintained her stubborn, sparkly dignity. She was the blonde astronaut girl, and the universe's chaotic, over-the-top sense of humor would have to accept that she was not so easily defeated. With a shaky but determined breath, she straightened her posture, hair floating dramatically over her shoulders, suit glinting in the flickering mechanical light, and whispered fiercely to herself, "Universe, I am ridiculous. I am sparkly. I am alive. And I will survive whatever comes next." And with that, she stepped forward into the gleaming, metallic expanse of the temple, ready for the next absurd trial that awaited her, fully aware that every twist, tangle, and pose would only make her legend on this chaotic planet even more spectacularly over the top.